Okay, so since I read like it's my job during the summer, I'm not going to be making a video for each book I read. This video is the last 4 books that I have read. So the first one is Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. Libba, I like her books a lot. I've read a lot of her other ones, and this one was strange. Basically, these contestants in this beauty pageant crash on this deserted island and have to survive, but it's like kind of set in this futuristic society where everyone's super brainwashed. It's basically a hyper version of our society. So the girls are hyper brainwashed to like only think of these beauty pageants and not think for themselves, and one of the girls is kind of a feminist, and she convinces the rest of the girls to stand up for themselves and to want more for themselves, and they find this like terrible plot that's going on the island. It was really strange, but good at the same time. It had a pretty good message. Sarah Dessen's What Happened to Goodbye. I love Sarah Dessen so much, and this book is no exception. It was fantastic. It's about this girl whose parents got divorced because her mom cheated on her dad with this basketball coach, and so it's partially about her relationship with her parents, but her dad is a guy kind of like the guy in Restaurant Impossible, who goes around and he tries to save failing restaurants and stuff. He works for a company that does that. And so they're moving to this new place, their 4th new place in 2 years. And basically, she has been essentially trained not to let anyone get attached to her. And then she finds a guy, and it's like, is she gonna let herself get attached or not? Really good. I'm gonna do this one next. Things of the Hidden God by Christopher Merrill. Terrible. Honestly, I didn't finish it. You can see my bookmark that's in it, and it'll stay in it in case I ever feel like I'm going to finish it. But the way that it's marketed is that this guy is going to Mount Athos in Greece, which is where all of the Eastern Orthodox monasteries are, and not very many people are let in. No females are let onto this island, and he gets to go, and he's like on this pilgrimage, and his marriage isn't going well, and all these other things. And so it's booked as like it's marketed as like his spiritual journey, but really it's like the history of the Greek Orthodox Church, and it's really boring. Like, he does not write this well at all, and I just couldn't do it. And it's not really split into chapters at all. It's split into like 3 huge sections, so you're just basically like, when is this going to end the whole time? So I kept waiting for it to get better, and it didn't, so I decided to give up, and I might finish it later. Probably not. Which is why I'm following it with this book. Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. This book is fantastic. It was so good. Very sad at some points, but amazing. Basically, Amy is a high school senior, and her dad died in a car crash 3 months ago from when the book is happening, and you find out that she was driving when he died. And so she's in a really bad place. Her brother is in rehab because he's been doing drugs for a long time, since before their dad died. And her mom has moved out to Connecticut to start, she's a professor, to start teaching at this new college, and has left Amy at home for the past month to finish school in California. And the premise of the book is she wants Amy to drive the car out to Connecticut, but Amy is not driving right now because of the accident and everything. She can't bring herself to drive. And so her mom gets her friend's son, Roger, to drive with her across the country, and her mom has plotted, like, they're gonna go to somewhere in New Mexico, and then somewhere in Oklahoma, and then, like, Ohio, and then Connecticut, so, like, 4 days. And they decide that they want to take some detours. And it starts with a detour to Yosemite National Park, and gets a little crazy. And it's just, it was really powerful and stuff, and Roger's struggling with stuff too in his life, and it's just like how they decide that what they need is just to go to these places that they need to go, and they're doing it for themselves, and it's fantastic, and I stayed up entirely too late finishing it, but it was beautiful. It was so, so, so